So as you see, the military is starting to show up to anime conventions. That's how bad things are getting. Is that right? Is that so? What else? Oh, goodness. You can't say that on YouTube. Racist. Anyways.
Patriotism is dead. There's only rebels and tyrants now.
Strange.
A world ready for the righteous and the pure to inherit.
Don't believe in surrenders. No, I still got my saber, Reverend. Didn't turn it into no plowshare either.
I'm taking over this territory.
Yeah, it's too early for me to shit. So as you see, there should be an article on screen, and basically the military is so down bad for recruits, they're camping anime conventions. Now, see, this is funny on multiple reasons. There's another story that goes alongside with this. So, not a lot of people want to enlist, and I think I've heard the recruitment numbers are worse than it was in 1970 something. So, with this, I want to attach another story to it. So there's this guy from the 82nd Airborne, and so when they were leaving Afghanistan, the military said, "Leave everything. We gotta get out of here. Leave it all." So the guy leaves he leaves his kit there, his body armor, his canteens or whatever the fuck, right? So he leaves his equipment there, as the military requested. He gets home, and guess what the military does? The military, hold on. The military sends him a bill for $4,000 because he didn't return the equipment. So that's the kind of professionalism the military's gonna be like giving you. So not only that, the VA is notoriously shitty, notoriously bad about getting people the care they need. The GI Bill, cool, free schooling. Woo! And it's just bad. And of course, I think if I can, I'll put a recruitment like picture where they said, "No longer need to be vaccinated to enlist." Well, la-dee-da. It should have been stated like that the first time. But now that you need people to join up for your bullshit World War III in Iran and Russia, no one's really looking at the current state of affairs going, do I really want to put my life on the line for 243 decrepit old sociopaths that run our government? Do I really want to lose an arm, lose a leg, lose my life? Do I want to be maimed and slain for these ungrateful fucks in Washington, D.C.? So a lot of people are looking at the current, like we have a president that shits his pants, the rest of these people are just in it for money. Yeah, I'm not going to enlist. Eat my shorts. Now, thank God I'm like too old currently to be drafted, but the rest of you 18 to 25-year-olds, look out. But yeah, that's the current state of affairs, and that's not counting the recruits they do get have like all kinds of bone issues because they like, I'm assuming, play too many video games and they have like brittle bone. But of course you can't really believe that one. But yeah, a lot of people don't want to enlist because their government is kind of doing them bad. And of course, you know, maybe you have friends and family that's listening. You've watched how our government's quite literally, you know, done one of these. Right? Of course, it's no laughing matter. It's, in all seriousness, that it's like you get treated like dog shit. You're serving an ungrateful nation to a bunch of politicians that aren't going to pay you jack and shit, and they're going to tell you to leave your equipment overseas, and when you do, they're going to fine you for it. So the military needs to make it worthwhile of enlisting. You guys need to sweeten the pot a whole lot more, especially in these economic times where our money's getting less and the price of everything's skyrocketing. You need to offer more. And People who are enlisted, people who do serve deserve more. They deserve the fucking world. Period. End of story. So, yeah, it's pretty shitty. And it's just funny how they're at anime conventions now. It's just like, yeah, those are the kind of people who aren't really, yeah, good luck, guys. But they're down bad, folks. All right, so there's Chris Christie on my left, and what's looping in the background is the GOP debate. And this is directly at the Republican Party and GOP. If you have nothing to offer but foreign military aid to foreign countries and more forever wars, no one's going to vote for you. I think last time I heard that the combined interest of all these schmucks on stage amounted to 33%. That's all of them combined. So if you guys have nothing to offer but war and more funding to Israel and Ukraine, the American people are suffering. They can't afford groceries. They can't afford a fucking house. They're barely holding on, and the only thing you guys have to offer is more war, conflict, and more spending? They didn't even do the usual route of the bullshit. We're like, oh, we're going to rebuild infrastructure. We're going to clean the roads, build our bridges, right? Chris Christie at some point wants to build 300 ships and submarines. With what money? The money we're giving to Ukraine and Israel. And again, the GOP. I'm trying not to be so animated here. But the same GOP wants to continue all the same foreign military spending, aid, and pursuing war with Iran, China, and Russia. And they're yet somehow, with all this funding and finances and military spending, also going to protect the American people's retirement and somehow invest in the economy. So at this point, what we have on screen with the GOP is a whole bunch of horseshit, bullshit, and lies. They're spiraling. They know it. And I think it's a little known secret that the GOP, I mean, to me anyways, in my humble opinion, is pretty much dead at this point. Because you guys have nothing to offer, again, but tax cuts to the rich, and forever wars, and continuing spending for foreign military aid. You have nothing to offer young adults, and you wonder, you get these Republicans in cabinet meetings and stuff, and they're people, we're losing interest with young Americans, no one cares, most of our party goers are like boomers and old people. Well, maybe, just maybe, because there's something as more preceding generations than just your own. And instead of enslaving the next generation to debt, more war, and financial woes, maybe you should focus on the people who you're supposed to fucking represent, the American people, instead of some schmuck or some nation like Ukraine or Palestine that has great oil reserves and I think natural gas. They discovered oil and natural gas in Palestine. So, that makes you wonder, doesn't it? Same thing with Ukraine, Crimea, a major hub of oil and natural gas. So, as long as there's wars to be had, oil and resources to take and exploit from other countries, that's their true motive. They don't give a shit about the American people. Look, it's Nikki Haley. She's the one who wants to censor, freedom of speech on the internet. She wants to have everyone verified so they can be thrown in prison for memes, jokes, or opinion. And again, this is the state of the GOP. And they have nothing to offer to young adults. And before any of you schmucks get in the comments, say, oh, you're just a leftist liberal, a limp-wristed, soy-drinking, fairy Marxist. No, I voted Republican since I was 18, okay? So if this is me breaking ranks as someone who's been dedicated to the GOP party and voting, line of voting, my entire adult life, you've got a problem. And sure, none of these guys are going to be nominated. I'm going to call, you see these guys, Nikki Haley and all these other schmucks, they're not going to be nominated to GOP because it can't attract flies to shit. So we're going to get stuck with a Trump and Biden run, or a Trump and someone else, because I'm not sure Biden is going to be, how do I say this, medically well to continue, because that guy's fucking gone. The guy literally shits his pants. But yeah, the current state of the GOP is in shambles, and you guys need to get your shit together. You need to offer something. You need to reform the party. You need to rethink your approach. And same thing with the liberals. You're losing a lot of people too. So you were voted People want to vote for you and elect you to offices of power because you represent them, because you'll pay attention to their needs, concerns, wants. That's your goal. Not to line your pockets, not to meet with lobbyists, not to enrich yourselves, but you're going to do that anyway because the American people aren't profitable anymore. And that's the true horror to this, is there's no third party. There's RFK, but of course he's been proven to be kind of a dipshit at times, wanting to jail climate opposition people and shit. There's quotes where he wants to create, or he mentioned where he wanted to create a smart grid to where the government can shut down people's shit, electronics and stuff. So, I don't know. It's quite a dire situation. But if the GOP can get anything from this video, you better get your house in order, rethink your party, and heed the cries for help for the American people. They'll vote for you. They're ready to put you in power, but not at the expense of more foreign military aid spending, or at least in my opinion. I'm probably alone here, or maybe not, but there's people within the GOP and Republican Party that are these war hawks. I even seen it with some friends and family were like, yeah, war, right? Anyways, it's wild. So 2024, it's going to be an interesting one. And if Biden can't do the debates because he's so mentally defunct, so mentally broken, and such in a bad health state, that's pretty bad. So I don't know if they're going to run Biden again, but that guy's mentally defunct and he shits his pants. And even, hardcore, leftists and hardliners are going, wow, this guy's pretty mentally deficient. So the Democrats need to rethink their approach to this. But whatever party puts the American people first and becomes a populist in that aspect will probably win the election. So whichever party can actually legitimately put forward the image that they give a fuck about the American people, the plight and their struggle, they'll succeed. If they can at least pretend to do that. But with these debates and what I've seen so far, we just have dipshits, absolute dipshits, except Vivek Ramaswamy. At least he was able to, he has a little bit of the pulse of the American people. He's checking it. He's getting a feel for the vibes. But the rest of these schmucks all fucking suck. Quit. End your campaigns, because no one's you're not gonna hack it. Go back to meet governors and senators or whatever schmoozing rigged bullshit corruption you're involved in, because I don't think you guys have a chance, even with Nikki Haley. No. Anyways, in my opinion, dislike, rebuttal in the comments down below, and that's just my 2 cents on all of it.